Hey everyone, this is Mukesh Otwani once again from learn-motion.com. Today in this video, we are going to talk about another important interview question is how do you use collection in Selenium, or you might get this question in a different way, like how do you use collection in your framework. The moment you hear about collection, always remember you need to talk about list, you need to talk about set interface. I know many people are getting confused. Map is a part of collection hierarchy. No, it's a dynamic data structure, but it does not fall under collection hierarchy, and I will prove this point. So in simple words, whenever you hear collection keyword, whether it's a Selenium or whether it's Playwright, or let's say you're attending interviews mostly on framework, you need to talk about list, you need to talk about set. How do you use list in your framework? How do you use set in your framework? How do you use list in your script? How do you set in your script? Okay, so now if you're completely new to framework, if you're completely new to collection, then I would highly recommend you to watch my previous videos where I discussed collection in detail. So I will show you some practical use cases and examples how you can explain. So let me create a separate class called, let's say, collection examples. I'm using public static void main. I'm using plain Java program, but if you're using JUnit testng, please use it. Now in order to start, let me create WebDriver reference, and I'm using Chrome. Now in order to show you this example, I'm going to refer one application, but please feel free to take any application, the concept will remain same. Now imagine I need to work with multiple web elements. For example, I need to work with this dropdown. This dropdown have all the states of India. I need to work with multiple checkboxes. I need to work with multi-select dropdown. Or if I show you one thing, let's say if I do the login, okay, it's a web table. Whenever I need to iterate this web table, or let's say if I want to talk about this categories, the moment you have more than one web element, you will use find elements, and find element returns list of web element. List is a part of collection framework. Okay, so that is point number one. I will explain you through example, and let me also show you same thing in incognito. Now the moment you talk about these social media links, okay, so let's say if I click on LinkedIn, it is opening in a new tab. The moment you have multiple tabs or multiple windows, you will be using get window handles, and get window handles returns set of string. One example as of now, set you will be using whenever you have multiple windows, multiple tabs, basically switching between tabs and windows. And whenever deal with list of web elements, there you will be using, right? Let me show you practically. So let me open this. Let me write driver.get. I would recommend you to watch the video till the end, because you will have so many examples to tell in interviews. Even if you're not attending interviews, it will help you in the real-time implementation as well. Now let's say I need to work on these checkboxes. For example, let's say I want to click on this GCP, okay, which is Google Cloud Platform. If I notice this checkbox is coming in an input tag, right? So input tag name and the type equal to checkbox. If I write one locator that find all the checkboxes on this page, so I can write that find input tag. The moment I say input, total 14 matching nodes, right? But if I say where type equal to checkbox, I got the 9 checkbox. More than one, total 9. I need to use find elements. It means I will be getting list. List is a part of collection. So if I say driver.find elements, you can see list of web elements. Now I'm using XPath in this example, but if you're using CSS selector or any other locator, find elements will return you list. So let me store this in a web element, and I will say all check boxes. Now once you get the list, it's up to you. How do you want to run this? You can run a for loop, click on the checkbox, all the checkboxes. You can click on the first one, third one, fifth one, last one. It's up to you. So let's say if I want to click on the third checkbox. So this is my list reference, right? In list we have a method called get. So if I pass index, let's say 2, it means third checkbox. So GCP Selenium Cypress. Okay, let's say I'm teaching Selenium, so let me use get1, which is second, which is Selenium, right? This will return me web element. So I can store this in a web element reference. And now if I want to click, I will say ele.click. Now let me show you first. If this works, then we will optimize this. Now the moment I execute, if the latest driver is available, it will start immediately. Otherwise it will download the latest driver and then it will start. Okay, let it load. In the meanwhile, get method will accept index, will return you the element, and once you get the element, you can do click. Let's say if you have multiple radio buttons or input boxes or any type of web element, you can perform the necessary operation. It's starting. Now you can see the test is failing, and I will tell you why. It is not because of the list, it is because of the sync issue. Now you might come across another question, that what are the challenges you have faced. This is one of the major challenge in Selenium, that we need to handle the sync. Okay, we need to put some weight, we need to handle this weight smartly so that your script should not fail. With Playwright Cypress this comes automatically, but here just by adding one line you can actually fix the script. But before we fix that, let me show you what exactly happened. So let me open this Epic Pen so that I can draw some diagram. It says index out of bound exception, right? Index 1 of bound for length 0. Now you can ask this question, Mukesh, we have 9 elements, why it is giving index out of bound exception? Now if you watch closely, the moment you refresh, you can see there is a loader icon, right? Just notice somewhat here. Okay, it was something here. So basically what happened, the moment I say refresh or when I launch first time, it takes 1 second or sometimes even a millisecond to get the web elements. So what happened, the moment the page got loaded, Selenium is trying to find this immediately without waiting. It got empty list because the page was loading, right? Since the size is 0 now, and when you say get of 1, index out of bound exception. So in order to fix this, what we will do, we will use implicitly wait. So driver.manage.timeout.implicitly wait, and I will use duration of 5 seconds. Now this is only one time in the script. The moment I say implicitly wait, it will be available for each and every web element on this page after this statement. By default, when you don't set default implicit is 0, it means it will not even wait for a single second. It will try to find immediately. If not, it will throw exception, and this is what we got. Now let me execute and you will see the output. So yes, it's starting, and notice it clicked on Selenium, right? Because that's the second element. Now let me show you what if I want to click all the checkboxes. So I will comment this. Now I can run a for loop. So what happened, actually we got 9 checkboxes, right? So what I will do, I will run a loop, click on the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, and so on. So I will keep on clicking until the loop is not getting end. So for this I can use for loop, enhanced for loop, basic for loop. I can use iterator as well. Now since we got a list of web element, while iteration, each and every entry will be basically a web element. Okay, so it will pick the first web element, then second, then third, and so on. And every time I want to click, so it will click all the checkboxes. Let's execute now. Yes, it's starting. You can see it going to select all the checkboxes, because now you have a list. So when you have a list, you have a full control. Now there's a quick problem statement for all of you. Please try because you will get some idea. I want you to click on the first, third, fifth, seventh and ninth checkbox, or you can do reverse. I want to click on the second, fourth, sixth or eighth checkbox. Now think about it and let me know your answer. Okay, so I will comment this or I will remove this. See, when I clicked on the second one, basically I stored in a list, then from list I took one web element, then I clicked, right? If I want to write this in one line, how we can do that? I will say find web elements. Instead of storing in a variable, I can directly say, okay, give me the sixth index, which is seventh value. This will return me a web element. So I can directly say click. So if you don't want to write these 3 lines of code, you can comment this and it will work. Let's run it once again. Index number 6 means total, 7th checkbox it will click. Here we go. It's loading. Azure DevOps. Perfect. Now before I move to set last example, what if I want to click on the last checkbox or second last or third last? You might come across this question too. So what we will do is basically the moment I got 9 checkbox, right? So I will get the size. So when I get the size, I can access from 0 to 8. So instead of hard coding, I will get the length, then I will say -1. So I will be clicking on 8th checkbox. So I can say find elements by XPath. This is the XPath. Now size. Now this will give me size, right? So what I will do, I will say first give me the index, and for index I will use the same by.xpath. It should be find elements. This will give me size and I will say -1 and I will say dot click. See, you can store this in a list in a variable, then use it. That will be more efficient. What I mean is, instead of writing 2 times, store this in a variable, get the size. So let me comment this one. And let me copy this. We already have list, right? So remove this. Let me simplify. Say get, pass the index, but for index I will say size -1. So get the size first, -1, and then dot click. This will click on the last checkbox. If you want second last checkbox, put -2, -3. So this gave me total 9. So this will evaluate to 9. 9 -1, 8. 8 will be passed in get method. It will return me web element and I'm clicking on it. Let's run quickly before we move to set. Yes, it's starting. It should click on C#. Here we go. So please try this. I will give you a small task, consider as assignment and let me know. Now another area where you can showcase, there can be multiple examples. I'm giving you a few examples as of now, so that you will have multiple answers to tell. Let's say I'm working with dropdown, okay? Now in dropdown also, if I have to select or if I need to get all the values, for example, this dropdown, this is a state dropdown, right? I have all the states. So let's say I want to fetch all the dropdown values. So I will be using select class. This is a state select drop down with name, state, ID state. I will take this ID. So what I'm doing here, in the constructor it is asking web element, so I have passed web element. Since it's a select tag, so I'm using select class, and we got this object now. Now if I type dd, let me give some meaningful name, states. The moment you put dot operator, you will see two methods. Okay, the first method is get all selected option. This also returns a list of web elements. This will mainly used with, suppose if you have a drop down of 10 values, 3 are selected, more than one, right? So you want to fetch all the selected values. It will return list of web element. You put the size, for loop condition, and continue. Get options is another method. As in it says get options from a drop down. If I have, let's say, 30 items or 40 items, it will store in a list of web elements. Then you run a for loop just like we did now. So I will say get options. I will be getting list of web elements, and I will say state value. Let me increase the font size, and let me keep it blank. Yeah. Once your list is ready, up to you. I'm using enhance for loop. Since each and every entry will be a web element, so you type web element, this will be a variable. One by one we will get all these state values. Right now I'm not performing anything, I'm just printing just to show you. But if I say get text, I want to capture the text. But if you want to perform any validation, feel free to do that. And I'm printing this. If you want to verify how many values we have in a drop down, you can just get this list and print the size. I'm showing you how to fetch values. Assertions, please do that accordingly, because assertion depends on the test cases. Now if I execute this, okay, starting a new session, and yes, notice the output, guys. See, this time it took more than one, but still our program worked. Now notice it is printing all the state values. Right now they all in alphabetic order. So it started from Andhra Pradesh and it ended with Puducherry. Yeah. So I hope you got the clarity about list. Whenever you come across any method which is returning a list of web element, list of string, list of boolean, list of double, it's collection. Okay, let's move to another example, and I will say set. See, when it comes to Selenium, mostly we use whenever you have multiple tabs, but observe the method signature plus the return type. If any return type contains set, it's a collection. So I will remove everything, and to show you multi-tab, let me click on any of this link. Okay, so let's go with this. So if I find a hyperlink where it contains href that contains Mukesh Otwani, so you can see it is able to find 4 links, because here I have href Mukesh Otwani, Mukesh Otwani, Mukesh Otwani, Mukesh Otwani, total 4 links. But what if I mention YouTube? Okay, so I told find a hyperlink which contains href YouTube, so it is able to find this and this. Notice 1 2 1 2. Now if you want to use indexes, you can use indexes that I want the first one or the second one. Now I'm not spending much time on writing XPath. You can use selectors hub. You can write your own XPath accordingly so that you will get a unique matching node. My main focus here is to show you how to use set. Now the moment I click on it, so find element, dot click, notice it will open in a new tab. Okay, it will start my video, so I'm closing it, but this is how it will start. So basically I need to switch from this tab to this tab. Now depends on the browser setting. Okay, if your browser setting says open a new window, still the concept will remain same. Right now it's opening in a tab, so I need to switch from this to this. This is called Windows handling in Selenium. Please make a note. Windows handling, tab handling, switching to different windows, this is done via get window handles. Before clicking, I will get the window handle, get window handle. So I will say this is parent window. And after clicking, I will be getting two. One is parent, one is YouTube, right? So basically this is my web page. By default I have one, but the moment I click on YouTube, it will open a new tab. So when I say get window handle, it will return me parent window handle. Now let me show you another method called get window handles. Guys, please make a note. Get window handles return set of string, not a list. Set allow unique values, because if you have duplicate values, for you it will be tough to switch, right? So set always have unique values, and get window handles returns me set. Handle will return you a single string. Now the moment we have set of string, I can say all tabs. Now I have set. Set does not have indexes, right? So I have two options. Either I can run a for loop, check if parent is not equal to child, switch, or I can convert the set into a list and then use indexes. I have a small request. If you are completely new to window handling, how to handle multiple tabs window, I have a dedicated video. I will give you the link in the description. Please go ahead and watch, because here I will cover quickly, but for in-depth explanation, the different approaches, switch using titles, switch using iterators, switch using indexes will be covered separately. So already have a video. I will share the link. Please go ahead. If you have any doubt, let me know. So once I get the set, what I will do, I will just write a quick check that first iterate this and compare. If it is equal to parent, don't switch, because we are already on the home page. Go to the next one. Now once you get this window handle, compare with this. If they both are different, it means we got a new tab. Then we'll write driver.switch to new tab. Then control will be here. Same logic I will write here. I already showed you how to run a for loop, for each while loop, right? Now let me show you iterator. So if I assign iterator, I will be getting iterator of string. Very important for interviews, guys. So if you are completely new to iterator, please visit my previous videos. What I mentioned, I want to iterate the values. It will give me iterator, not iterable, iterator. Now I can iterate. So imagine this is my set. Set have two values. One is parent and one is child. So when you say iterator, iterator will point to the first element always. I will run a while loop, and I want to keep on running this while loop until my set is not finished. In our case, we have only 2, but if you have 10 values, 20, this iterator will keep on running. So I will say check iterator.hasNext. So this will return me true false, right? Iterator is pointing to the first one. So when I say has next, the first time I will get value as true. Now I will say itr.next. Now this is very interesting method. What it does, it will give you the current value. So we'll get this parent window. Now I will check, and since it's a set of strings, so every time I will be getting a string. Let me clear this here. Now I'll write a quick check. If this is the main logic of this complete program, if parent is not equal to child, it means we got a new tab. Now I need to switch. If this condition evaluates to true, I will say driver.switch to window. Where I need to switch to the child window. Now you do whatever operations you want. You want to type, you want to click, you want to capture the title, URL, do the complete end-to-end testing on this tab. But make sure once you're done, you close this. Don't call quit method. Quit, when the moment you say quit, it will close both the tabs. So I want to close the current active tab, which is basically YouTube. And how I will verify whether I'm on the right tab or not, I will say give me the title. If I get the title of the YouTube, it means we are able to switch. Once this loop will end, I want to go back to my parent window. So driver.switch to window, parent window, and then I will say driver.quit. How you will verify whether you are on the parent window? I will capture the title again. So quick explanation again about this iterator. Get the first value, assign into a variable. We are checking with a parent value. So obviously the first value is parent value. So this will change it to false. It will run my loop again. What next method does is it will give you this value plus it will increment to the next one automatically. So next time when you run a while loop, this will return you again true. And when you say okay, give me that next value, it means this value. Now we are checking if parent is not equal to child. Yes, it's not equal to. Then switch to child window. Just to cross check whether we are on the child page or the child tab. I'm printing title, closing it. Once it is done, switch to parent, capture the title, quit. So guys, this is a very quick explanation about Windows handling, but this video is all about list and set. So list, when you have more than one web elements, always see the return type. If list of web elements, collection. If the return type set of string, set of web element, set of integer, it's collection but set interface. Set does not allow duplicate, set does not have indexing, and set have a different classes. So if I execute this before we end this video, you will see the output. Okay, so this will fail because I have not changed the URL. I am looking for a sign up. Here we don't have social media links. Okay, let it fail. I will tell you one interesting part here. It failed, but notice it failed with a different exception. Element click intercepted exception. It is not throwing no such element. It is showing click intercepted exception. It's not clickable. Now I want you to pay attention to the footer. Okay, what happened? The moment my page got launched, it was somewhat like this. It was present but it was not in an interactable mode. So it is throwing you click intercepted exception. So let me change the URL. Now how do we handle this? You just need to scroll and we're good to go. Since the video will be lengthy, I will just change the URL. Now run this as Java application. See, this scrolling part is very smartly handled in Playwright in Cypress. It will automatically scroll if it is not in a view. In Selenium that is missing, we need to write the code. Now notice the moment it will launch, it will click on YouTube. Now the new tab is loading. Title is Mukesh on YouTube. Still loading. Okay, so one quick question. What is the default page load time in Selenium? I want to know the answer. If you already know, let me know in the comment section. What do you think? What is the default timeout? To be more precise, default page load timeout in Selenium. Because as you can see, the page is loading, it's not moving forward, right? So it's waiting. I want to know the default page load timeout in Selenium. Okay, it's still loading. Yeah. Notice once it is loaded, it found the title, it went back to the main page, again printing Learn Automation courses, and it's closing. So this is how you can explain the collection usage in your script. Now if you're using Framwork, in Framwork if you have utilities, you can explain the same manner that these are my utilities, this is returning me list, this is returning me set. In Selenium, find elements, return list of web elements, and get window handles return set of string. Now what about map? Guys, map is not part of collection hierarchy. It's a separate hierarchy altogether. We have a hash map, linked hash map, tree map, and they share a parent interface map. It's a key value pair. It's a dynamic data structure but does not fall under collection. And coming back to example, you can explain. See, whenever we have to change the download directory, I'm just giving one example as of now, but we have multiple examples. You will be using map extensively the moment you work with BDD with data tables. Okay, you can explain. We have used hash map in our current project, where suppose if we have to download a file, we can change the default directory using map, and using Chrome options you can customize this and pass while creating object. For example, if I want to change the download directory, so Chrome options, first of all I will import, and hash map I will import. Hash map is a class which implements map interface. Okay, and so actually hash map have another parent class as well. So if you open the implementation, notice hash map extends abstract map and implements map interface. And if I open map, map does not have any parent interface, so it's not part of collection hierarchy. So this is how you can answer in interviews. You can say we have used collection framework extensively in our framework and while writing a script as well. So whenever we have multiple web elements, we're using list of web elements, and then we're iterating, writing the assertions accordingly. We have used set while doing Windows handling. So whenever we have multiple tabs of Windows, we're using set of string, and we are switching to different tabs in Windows. We have used map multiple places. We're using in BDD framework while handling with data tables, and we have used map whenever we have to change the download directory. Anything which is related to key value pair, we are using map. So this is how you can explain short and crisp. If they ask you explanation examples, this is what the examples you can tell. I know it's a little lengthy video, but trust me, if you watch this video till the end, so you must have got a lot of clarity. So please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you need more videos like this, let me know what exactly video you're looking for. I will try my best to make video. If you like this video, please do support this channel, share this video with your colleagues, subscribe this channel, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care.